Good morning, Baltimore.
Good morning. And good Sunday morning? I don't know.
It's Sunday morning.
It's Sunday morning for us.
We didn't record early because we're dumb.
No. We've been busy.
We got
and
new
sick.
phones.
Yeah.
They're nice. They're the old iPhones, the last year's, but they're so good.
Yeah, they're new compared to our old ones because we had iPhone 6.
I used to have to charge my phone like 3 times a day. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
What's going on with my voice?
Well, you're still kind of getting over a cold.
I've been fine.
Yeah.
Sniffle.
I'm still getting over it.
Yeah, you're in the middle of it. You got sick like a week after me.
No, I feel a lot better today. Like, I'm on the tail end now. But it's just frustrating because it's like working hard and getting busy, and then all of a sudden you get sick.
That's always how it happens. Because you're working too much, you know what I mean? And then, like, when you relax, you kind of like, I don't know, your immune system's like, okay, I'll relax too.
Yeah. I wanted to work more, though, so it's frustrating. Yeah. I hate getting sick.
Sorry, it's just, this is a precarious pile here of stuff.
Shh. Yeah, that's the other thing that I need to do is clean up some more.
I know, it's on the list. Clean. Your phone's so nice. Okay, well, shall we just get into it?
Yeah, let's just get into it.
Okay, a part of our stressful week, or my stressful week, you were away, and I had to deal with my car died, and we were getting a new one, like buying a brand new car.
Yeah.
Okay, it's stressing me out even just recapping it. And the thing is, I have a fully online bank, and I had to get a bank draft for the car, and my bank sends it to me. Like, I can't go in and pick it up because there's no really locations. And they sent it to me through Purelator, which we have already had issues with before, which I will recount in a second, but right now, oh my god, it was supposed to take 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 business days. I filed for it, or I requested it on Thursday. Not this last Thursday, this was last week. On Thursday, and then it shipped Friday morning, so I counted that as the first business day. And then I thought, okay, it'll arrive Monday or Tuesday. All weekend, the tracking number was not working. I would click on it and it would take me to UPS. And then when I went to Purelator's website and put in the tracking number, it would say that there was no package attached to that number. So I called them and they said, well, we don't scan the packages on the weekend, so you just have to wait. And I was like, okay. So she said to wait till Monday morning and then they would do it. And then Monday morning, nothing happened. So I was like, well, it's probably just like too early. So I'll wait till like noon or whatever. So I wait till noon, still nothing. And then I call again and I'm like, hey, I already talked to someone who said, that it probably just isn't scanned yet, but it's still not scanned. And I need to know, like, I had an appointment on Monday because I was feeling, what's the word? like confident that it was going to arrive on Monday. So I had made an appointment at the dealership to go in and get the car. And I was like, I really was hoping I'd get it today. And they were like, well, sorry. They still haven't scanned it, I guess. And I was like so pissed. And you were pissed too. You were back by then.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god. And then Tuesday arrives. And I'm like, okay, this is the last day that they're going to be delivering it because it's the 3rd day, right? And tracking number's still not working. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to kill. So I call, and this woman is very, very helpful. She's like, this doesn't look like a Purelator tracking number. And I'm like, are you friggin' serious? And she's like, maybe you should, like, call your bank and make sure that you have the right tracking number. So I call my bank, and I tell them all that, and they're like, let me look into it for you. I'm on hold for, like, 20 minutes while they're looking into it. And they're like, sorry, that's the one that Purelator gave us. I'm like, great. So Purelator gave them the wrong tracking number, and in turn gave me the wrong tracking number. And how am I supposed to get my package? So we go downstairs. We live in an apartment building, and the the building manager is down there, and we ask her if Purelators come, and she's like, oh yeah, they come like multiple times a day. And we're like, great. So it's not just like a set time in the day where we can go wait downstairs and like try to intercept the package as it arrives, you know? And then we see a Purelator truck outside. So we like, you know, we're like, oh my God. We go over there, and Gig's like, hey, I've been waiting for a package. And the guy's like, I'm not working right now. And I'm like, oh my God. He like wouldn't even talk to us. And then, what was it that night that I called and they changed the stuff, or was it in the morning?
I think it was that day you called Purelator again.
Yeah, I remember it was after hours. It was like later that night.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, look. I did this on Thursday. I should have this. This is urgent. And the guy is like super rude, and he's like, well, you know, he's just being really weird and like snippy with me. And he was like, well, that's not a Purelator tracking number, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I freaking know that already. And he's like, I guess he asked me for, you know, the tracking number, and said it wasn't. And then he's like, should be, like, the tracking number started with 605. He's like, should be 606. And then, like, puts in that. And I'm like, really? Like, I talked to, like, 4 other people before, and they couldn't say that it's supposed to be, like, they work for Purelator. Oh, my God. And this guy was like, oh, yeah, they tried to deliver it today, but they couldn't because there's no apartment number on the package. Or buzzer number. I knew that already because I didn't put a buzzer number on my address for the bank, right? And that's the address that they used. Oh my God. It was just really stressful. And I hate Purelator so much. Purelator is like the bane of my existence.
Okay, but the really frustrating thing is, like, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, Purelator got some partnership with Canada Post. So now, especially around the holidays, if you're going to send anything, it's most likely going to go through Purelator.
Yeah. Even
if you tried to send it through Canada Post. And then it's like, was it last year when my mom ordered that tea?
The David's Tea Advent Calendar? I think that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, so my mom orders this Advent Calendar, like a few of them for, like, the children, for the kids in my family. And for, like, me and you and my sisters. And then, and we're trying to, like, my mom's like, can you get it before I come back for the holidays or whatever, right? She's telling me to try and track it down. And then I'm looking around, talking to Canada Post, talking to everybody, and then it turns out the only way you can get it is there's this truck, Purelator truck.
No, that's not where it starts, though.
No?
She had she gave you the tracking number so we could track it. And as soon as it said out for delivery, we went downstairs, and we waited in the lobby. And nobody ever arrived at the door because they didn't have the buzzer number. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly it said, we tried to deliver it, but you weren't there. And we were like, we were in the lobby the whole time. It was so frustrating.
And that's happened to us multiple times with Purelator specifically.
They don't even try to
deliver it. But then when you miss a delivery and you go to pick up a package, right, you'd think it would be at a location, right? Well, in this instance, it's like, oh, the holidays are busy, so what we do is we set up a truck in a parking lot of a mall.
Yeah, they're
then
we're parked in front of Staples.
Yeah,
like,
and they weren't.
Yeah.
They were parked in front of Sport Check. It's like, okay.
Man, it was so frustrating.
Yeah,
I hate Purelator.
Yeah.
With a burning passion.
I'm going to try to avoid Purelator at all costs. But sometimes when you order something like a bank draft, or I've had it before where I've had to go pick up like important documents, like almost government documents. Like I remember when I was getting my green card and stuff, to go to Purelator.
Well, I remember when we were at my grandparents' once, and you were ordering a screen protector for your phone.
Yeah, off of Amazon.
It wasn't Pure Later, but it was still really frustrating because she lived at the top of like a mountain. And yeah, it's a lot to have to drive up, but still, like, you know.
It's not that much. I mean, it's literally...
your job.
I know, but it's literally a 5-minute drive. It's not like a giant mountain either. But like...
But it's like, it's your job to deliver this package. And my grandma said, like, sometimes they just don't want to drive up. So they wait until they have more mail. So they wait till like the next day or whatever. It's like, really?
Yeah. But they did deliver the screen protector, which was
on
good.
The second day.
Really?
It was the second, yeah, because they were like, oh, we attempted to deliver it, and we were like right in front of the front door. We were like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
But then on the second day, remember, we heard a knock, so we went to the door, and the guy was gone. So we were like, did he just knock on the door and like sprint to his vehicle?
Yeah.
Because like the driveway's long, right? It's not like you just like, you know, knock on the door around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to like sprint across the lawn.
That's true.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Someone Snapchatted me. Okay. Anyways, Pure Later sucks. Package delivery in general sucks. My mom was just complaining about it too because in her, like, she lives kind of like at the bottom of a little bit of a hill. Not at the bottom, but like on a little bit of a hill where there's like a shop plaza. And you would think that when you get packages, they would just go to somewhere in that shop plaza, like Shoppers Drug Mart, right?
Yeah.
Because they have a post office in there. But no, she has to walk up like really far, like blocks, like quite far.
Yeah.
To pick up packages. It's ridiculous.
Well, and like the frustrating thing is, so I grew up in a house in a neighborhood where like if you had a package delivered, they'd just leave it at your door in your mailbox if it fit. But the thing is, when I was growing up, we didn't really have like all this, like we had eBay and stuff, but you didn't really have that much Amazon delivery and that much for like where you'd just be able to order stuff if you wanted to. And financially, I don't think my family was at a place where, you know, oh, you see something online, you want to buy it? Okay, right? And then now we live in an apartment building where you'd think it would be convenient to get things delivered, but it's really not. It's like you have to make sure you put the buzzer number in, and then if you do, they'll buzz, but like you have to get to the phone in time, and sometimes the intercom is like really bad connection.
I couldn't hear what the guy, like we tested the intercom because we were worried that they would try to buzz us and it wouldn't work. Your phone is still on. Sorry, your old phone.
Yeah. I'm getting notifications on both.
And we were worried that they would buzz and the phone wasn't hooked up. So you went down to test it. Mm-hmm. And I heard you loud and clear. I heard you perfectly. But when the Pure Later guy buzzed, it was like...
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, do all these guys just have that voice? Like...
I was wondering.
It's so weird.
I think they talk quietly and they don't like face the microphone.
Yeah, I think they're like... Package for Erika,
yeah,
you know, type of thing.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I hate Pure Later.
I hate intercom things. Because it was like we were doing a read through the other night for a script we wrote, and like this is a big step for us, right? Okay. Well, first of all, there was a big miscommunication. I was scheduling with my acting mentor, actors. Like he was going to help me find actors to read, and unfortunately, there was a miscommunication where he thought it was next week, and I thought it was this week, and blah, 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 and then it turns out, like, I'm texting him, like, oh, I'm just about to get there, and he's like, wait, I thought you meant next week. I'm going to try and send to people as fast as possible. So
and people showed up, which is really nice.
Yeah, thank you, guys, if you guys listen to this or watch
Probably
this.
Not.
Probably not, whatever. 2 guys showed up, and it was great. It turned out to be the right amount of people anyways, but...
Yeah.
But what sucked is, like, I'm renting a room in this building that has... an intercom, like you have to buzz people in after hours, and the people would buzz up, and I'd go hold the button to unlock the door, and then like 5 minutes later, nobody would show up. So I don't know if I'm just letting people in the building or if it wasn't working or what. And then
well, one of the guys, I don't know if it was like one of the readers, you know, said that the intercom doesn't work half the time. So
we could have had way more people, but it's the intercom's fault.
Yeah. Oh my god, sorry. Something else I hate that's related to our new car is insurance.
Yeah.
If you live in BC, I'm so sorry, sweetie. ICBC. Oh, if you don't live in BC, ICBC is the only way you are allowed to have car insurance.
Yeah, it's public car insurance. It's not privatized, unfortunately. Like a lot of things in Canada, we have public things, so government-run things.
Not in the rest of Canada.
I know, but in Canada in general, we have a lot of things that are like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So like
Healthcare.
liquor stores, healthcare.
Yeah.
And then insurance in certain provinces. But the problem with that is, and like outside of Canada, people are always like, oh, Canadian healthcare, it's so good because, it's free and it's government-run. Well, that's not always. It's not that cut and dry,
No.
Like, our insurance here, ICBC, insurance something, British Columbia.
What does it stand for?
I don't know.
I've never even thought about it.
But anyways, so it's a monopoly. And it was already expensive. And then recently, they just redid the whole system of how they calculate your insurance and what you need to what they need to charge you and whatnot.
Insurance Corporation of British Columbia.
Yes. So this is the same company that if you're going to get a driver's license in British Columbia, they will test you and
Can we talk about that?
yeah.
You get your L at 16. Your L is your learner's license. You have to do a written test, and you have to get 80% or higher. Sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's lovely. You can
Yeah.
skip questions. You don't have to answer them all right away. It's a good system. Then a year goes by, and you have to do a road test. Like, you have to wait a year.
Yeah, so yeah, you have to have your learners for an entire year before you can even get the next step, which isn't even your full license.
It's an N, which is new driver. And you do a road test, which is so stressful. Like, they make you do so much.
And you can go get classes for this test. Like, before this test, you can
Yeah.
get driving lessons. But the thing is, unless you get driving lessons that are approved by ICBC, which is, if you can afford them, they're kind of expensive.
They are very expensive.
If you can afford them, that's great, because then you get 6 months off that end period. You don't have to wait as long.
Because you have to wait 2 years after getting your N to get your full license.
Yeah. So if you haven't taken that ICBC approved course when you go to take your test so you can get the one after the learners, they will most likely fail you the first time.
Oh, yeah.
That's just kind of their system.
Mm-hmm. They always, it's ridiculous.
They did that to you?
They
Yeah.
failed me, even though, okay, yeah, I never made it up to 50 kilometers an hour, okay? I was scared. I sat at like 40, 45. But the thing is, you're supposed to drive at 50 the whole time. And it's like down like
really narrow residential streets.
yeah, I don't want to do that.
I did the same thing on my end test, and I took the young drivers, and they passed me the first time.
Ridiculous.
She was just like, just make sure you don't go too slow,
My mom sent me my horoscope.
So then you do that end test, which is really stressful, right? Because you have to wait, and then they come out and they get you, and then they don't tell you that you've passed or failed until the end. And
Yeah. It's really nerve-wracking, especially the N one. Like, getting the full license test is supposed to be the same as the N test, but it's not. My N test, it was ridiculous. She was like had me circling the hospital so that I'd be ready for like as soon as there's a siren, gotta pull over, and I didn't pull over right away, and she was like so pissed at me, and I was like, I'm fucking stressed right now. She was, sorry for swearing, I'm really pissed, but she said at the beginning of the test, I am not going to talk to you unless I am directing you where to go. And then I'm like, okay. And she said, I'm not going to trick you. And then we pull out of the parking lot. She's like, so what do you do for work? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? Like, it totally threw me off. I was like, I thought you weren't supposed to talk to me. Like,
and I thought you weren't going to trick me. Like that's a trick.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to trick you. Oh, wait, I'm going to start talking to you even though I said I wasn't going to.
Mm-hmm. And then at one point she was like, you're only going 45. And I didn't know what she wanted me to do. She just said that vague sentence, and I was like, okay.
If she's going to instruct you, she should give you instruction.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing is, because there's nowhere else you can go.
They don't have to offer it as a good experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a competition to see who can give you the better experience because there's nobody else. There's literally nobody else.
Because the corporation that does the licensing also governs everything else. There's nothing governing them that's keeping their quality level in check.
And let me just say, they gave themselves some big bonuses over there.
Yeah.
They're in huge debt.
Yeah. That's why they increased the premiums.
Yeah, they charge us for their mistakes, so.
Yeah, so we were expecting something bad for our insurance on our new car. Like, we keep saying we got a new car. We came into a situation where we were very fortunate to get a new car, and we didn't have to pay for the whole thing.
We had a little bit of help, yeah.
We had a little bit of help.
Sorry, go ahead. You were going to say something.
And so we were, like, worried because it's a new car, but it's a Honda Fit. Like, it's not like a sports car. Like, my first car, when I had my new driver's license, and usually when you have your N, like, they charge you more.
Yeah. Because
they know you're new and that you're going to be a reckless driver, and that's how they kind of decide how to ding you. I had a sports car. That was my first car. I had a Mazda RX-8. And I mean, that was like, I had just came off Mr. Young. I had some money saved up specifically for a car. So I was like, I'm going to get a sports car. And this was like basically one of my dream cars. So I was super happy. And we're paying more in insurance now than I did for that when I had my new driver's license and a sports car. So it's pretty ridiculous.
Well, we were expecting, like, we went into the insurance place, but they couldn't tell us what we would be paying because they hadn't updated to the new system yet. And he was like, you could expect, $4,800 for the year. And we were like for the whole day, we were like, oh my God, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
We can't afford that.
We can afford one day.
And then I told my mom about that. And she was like, oh yeah, on the news, there was this girl who bought a Nissan Altima. And she was a new driver. And it was $5,300 for the year. A Nissan Altima. That's not a sporty car.
Nope, it's a sedan.
Like, and I was like, holy crap, what if it's worse than $4,800? Like, I was so scared. Yeah. And then we went in, and it's $3,700, which is way
under $4,000, which is nice, but still more than what I paid back in 2013 for a sports car. And also, $3,700 isn't how much it was supposed to be. No. That guy helped us bring it down. Like, he went through everything and was like, here's what you can do, and here's what you don't necessarily need so much coverage on. And then here's, like, an option that you can or you can't do, but, you don't really need it. And so originally it was supposed to be over $6,000. And then we were like, wow, $6,000. And he was like...
Oh, yeah, he was like... I know I told him about the story of that girl with the $5,300, and he was like, "Oh, that's nothing. Last week, this woman came in. She was from out of
province,
state, province." I'm like, wait, out of province, and they ding you real bad if you're from out of province. And she needed a car for work. She had just transferred, like, I guess, to Vancouver, and she was going to be paying $7,000 for the year, and he said she was crying.
Like, but she had no choice because it was for work.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm thinking, what if you literally don't make that much money and you have to have a car? Like...
Get a different job, then.
No, but what if that's your only choice?
Oh, I understand.
Like, what if that is your only choice and you're trying to make a living and now you can barely pay your rent? Like, $7,000 a year is a lot. That's close to what, like, people make for minimum wage.
Yeah.
At least here. In other, like, in the States, that is how much people make in some places for the year.
Some places, it's like $5 for minimum wage.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous.
I can't imagine working 4 hours and getting $20.
Like, I work at a couple different places, and one of them is considered, like, pretty good because it's above minimum wage. It's, like, $19 an hour. But even then, that's not enough to live off of. That's why, like, I'm starting other things, too. Doing my own projects, like taking risks, a little bit of risks, because I'm hoping that, one, it's good for myself, but also, like, maybe it'll turn into something that can help me support us, right? Like,
when you were working full time, how much did you make a month? Like $2,000?
Yeah, it was like $2,100. But then
that doesn't even cover rent here.
Yeah, if you want to live in the city, it doesn't cover rent.
Even here.
Wait, I keep forgetting.
The same size of our apartment, because we're rent controlled from, like, years ago.
Yeah.
So otherwise it would be $2,300 for the same apartment. It's getting out of control here. I don't understand. I have one more thing on my list of things that I really hate, and that's cell phone companies.
Canadian cell phone companies, specifically.
Because Okay, apparently Iceland has, like, the cheapest cell phone plans in the world because they don't charge you more than what it, like, very much more than what it costs them to run, like, have the services. Like, I remember when I got my first phone, there was the option to pay more for caller ID. It was like $10 or something. And my mom was like, no, you do it. It doesn't charge them it doesn't cost them anything to add caller ID to your phone. I'm not paying $10, just
a month.
putting it in their pocket.
Yeah, and that's like, so for years now in the States, having spent time there and having lived there, I've seen that their cell phone plans are very good. They offer lots of unlimited plans, and they have for a long time, and even ones where they include Netflix for you. Like where if you go to use Netflix, they don't charge you more for using up data using Netflix. And I'm like, whoa, okay, that's cool. We need that in Canada. And I'm like thinking, oh, it'll be here in Canada soon, right? Every time I went to Canada, I'd be like, yeah, we're going to get it soon.
What we need is American providers here.
Yeah.
They need to branch out.
And then the other thing about in the States is if you have an unlimited plan, which aren't that much more than like what regular plans are here, then you have unlimited everywhere in North America, like Mexico and Canada. Whereas like if someone who crosses the border a lot, I would have to pay way more. There's no unlimited option for when you cross the border.
Yep.
So it's very frustrating. And no, finally we have the major providers have unlimited plans, but they're really expensive. It's like
over $100.
Over $100, especially if you want to get a new phone. Like we just got new phones, but we decided let's get last year's phone because it'll be cheaper.
Yeah. Right?
Like I mean, we got the 10R, so like it's basically an iPhone 10.
Yeah.
Which is, it's good. It's a good phone. It's new. Like Erika had an iPhone 6S and I had an iPhone 6. Like those are 4 and 5-year-old phones. So they were starting to have some issues. Like mine wasn't even going to update to the latest software. Anyways.
Mine was crapping itself and I was like, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
I was like, we need to go get new phones right now.
Yeah. Anyway, cell phone providers. So we're with a provider that is like a kind of...
They're the cheap option.
They're the cheaper option. They're owned by like a big company, but they offer like more affordable things. And
but
when I was upgrading...
Sorry, the big company doesn't even have their own cell phone stuff.
What do you mean?
It's Shaw, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's Shaw. So it's like a big company, but they don't even have
offer cell phone service.
Yeah, so it's not like TELUS owns Kudo and Chatter, like another one, which Chatter is cheaper. It's probably considered like comparable to the one that we use.
Yeah.
But then like Rogers owns Fido, I think. I might be wrong. And then Bell owns I can't remember. But then there's like these lower tier ones, which basically are just like they're the same thing. They charge almost the same amount. They're just aimed at younger people. But the one we're with, they offer like actual unlimited plans that are a little bit cheaper. Like I have a plan. I had to make it like $1 more expensive so that I could get a better deal on the phone. But I have a plan that's from years ago that has like a thing where when I go across the border to the States, I have 1 gigabyte of high-speed data, but still limited, and then limited everything else. They don't even offer that anymore.
No.
Because it's too good of a deal.
Now they have a similar one, but it's $110 a month. But you get 2 gigabytes, I think, of data in the States.
Yeah, but still.
$110 a month. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and because I had to stick with the same plan. I have apparently 8 gigabytes of data. Well, Erika just signed up with a new plan. She has 18 gigabytes of data.
And I'm paying less than you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with the new phone, you're paying less than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous. I could be paying $80 for this plan, because that's how much it's supposed to cost.
Yeah.
But you get $5 off for I don't know, it's a digital discount or something, even though it's not like I did it online.
Yeah.
And then I get $10 off for the first year, so that's nice.
Yeah. It's like how people have been saying for a long time that the internet should be a public service. So, like electricity, you know? It's a controlled resource.
Like you pay for what you need?
Like you pay for what you need, but also they can't just be like, hey, I'm going to charge you $100 a month for high-speed internet because that's what we can charge you.
Yeah.
You know, there's a standard and there's a governing body that helps regulate it. For the internet and for cell phones, there's none of that. Even though everyone in the modern world, everyone needs it.
Yeah. That's true. I always think about that. I think, oh yeah, like we can afford to, you know, buy a place at some point because mortgage will be the same as like rent, basically.
Cheaper than rent.
Or cheaper than rent.
Yeah.
But then I think, oh wait, we'll have to pay for internet and utilities, strata fees probably.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because for a little while now, I've been saying to my mom, yeah, I think we're going to save up and buy a place instead of renting because it just doesn't make sense to me to rent. And in my mom's mind, she's thinking, oh, well, you know, that's going to be a lot of money and it's a big financial decision. And then like yesterday or the day before, she's like, you're right. You know,
well,
like
they increased our rent.
Yeah, they increased our rent, like not by a lot. We still pay really good for a really good amount.
Yeah,
for
but then she was like,
where
oh
we
my
live.
God, you're right.
You're right. Mortgage is like, it makes more sense, like, because we live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It's 800 square feet. It's not a huge apartment, but we've been renting this specific apartment since 2012, like September 2012. So we have rent from 2012, like pretty much.
Yeah.
Like it's only like $150 more than it was back in 2012. So I think, and so it's a really good deal. Like we were talking to somebody recently, I think the person who was helping us get our phones yesterday, about how they had a friend who was looking at getting an apartment in the same building, and they wanted to charge them $2,200 a month or $2,300 a month. So it's like we have a pretty good deal. But if you look at what's a suggested mortgage, because you need to, obviously it depends on your personal credit and everything like that, for like a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom in this same area, it's like $1,400 a month.
Oh yeah.
For just the mortgage. I mean, like maintenance fees and strata fees or whatever will be $200 to $350.
Well, I remember we live just outside of Vancouver, so it's cheaper. Like we're not right in the city, but in Vancouver, I remember the government last year was like, they announced that like $2,200 is like cheap.
It's what's affordable. They said specifically affordable
for a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And it was like, did you mean to use the word affordable?
Yeah.
Because I think they meant to use the word average. That's the average price.
Yeah.
For a 1-bedroom. They cannot be telling us that's affordable.
They can't say affordable because they have to compare it to wages. No, wages aren't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Rent is like steadily increasing, and wages
stagnating,
staying at the same place.
Yeah,
it's very hard to deal with.
Yeah, the only industry that I've noticed that actually pays you like what seems like a fair amount is the film industry in Vancouver.
Yeah, and we're getting a raise in March.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
You just joined. You got a new job.
Yeah, I started doing. Well, I don't want to advertise it too much,
have to.
but
You can just say you got a new job.
I got a new job. Yeah.
And now you're working 2 jobs. It's nice.
Yeah. Then maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Well, I'm gonna apply for bartending work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to keep myself busy while also being a responsible adult, and it's hard to do sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And not this last week, but the week before, Erika was saying, I was away. My mom is working in Canada again, so I went down to California and drove up from LA to Vancouver with her, and we took a week to do it. We stopped in Yosemite for a couple of days, did a hike, and enjoyed the scenery, and then we went to Reno and played the penny slots for an hour, and then got bored.
And got massages.
And then got massages, yeah. And I went out for dinner, and then we drove home. But that week, I didn't work. So now I feel like I'm 3 weeks behind.
You're
on
feeling it now.
I'm feeling it now, especially buying a new car, and then now got a new phone. And it's just man, I was feeling pretty comfortable financially because I had money in my account that I was not touching.
Yeah.
But it was there. It was in an account where I could spend it if I needed it, and that's why I did. We spent it on the car and phones, and I can't remember. We did something else too where it's just expenses. I
had 2 little meltdowns while you were gone about the car, and then I was like, everything's gonna be okay. As soon as you got back, I felt way better. It's that support, it helps a lot. But Oh, what was I gonna say?
You had 2 little meltdowns about the car?
Oh, yeah, and then I was like, crap, I need to post a video, but I just really didn't feel like it. So then I was like, I'm just gonna do something fun and, like, carefree. So I played a bunch of video games from my childhood.
Go check out our channel.
Oh, well, that wasn't the point.
I know, but I'm plugging your channel.
Thank you. But my point is, you're never too old for that kind of stuff.
No.
If it makes you feel better, then frickin' do it. Unless it's hurting somebody, then don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's like a life rule of mine.
Yeah.
Anyways, do we have a charity for this?
Yes, we do. Can I just read our horoscopes out loud?
Yeah, sure.
Mom's.
We're done complaining for now.
Oh, it's a YouTube link. Mom. Bob. No, that's not happening. Sorry, Mom. Okay, well, charity for today is BC and Alberta Guide Dogs. They professionally train guide dogs, autism support dogs, and PTSD service dogs for citizens of British Columbia, which is where we live, and Alberta, which is the province next to us. And you can sponsor a puppy. Okay? You can help a guide dog live its dream. All you have to do is go to bcandalbertaguidedogs.com. The link is in the description of the video. And
yeah, go support them.
That's it.
Help out puppies.
Help the puppies.
Help the puppies.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they don't do it, but there's also like court support dogs.
That's interesting.
But maybe that's just in the States. I've seen it like on Reddit and stuff. People are like, a court therapy dog supporting like if the like witnesses are underage and they're like really anxious or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. We need more of that. We need more dogs.
Oh, I want a dog.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We should go. Clean.
Cleaning. I don't want to clean. Just want to get back in bed. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a lot better though.
Good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We're gonna go be grown up and do things that are responsible. All right.
Thanks for listening to us rant about the things that we hate. Please let us know the things that you hate.
Yeah.
So that we don't feel as bad.
Things that are unfair, especially like people who work hard. We work hard.
Yeah.
We're part of society.
Yeah.
Anyways.
The thing is, sometimes it feels bad to be so negative, Like, now I'm realizing, wow, this was a negative podcast. But if you guys let us know what you hate too, that would make us feel a lot better.
It's like group therapy. That's what it's like.
That would make us feel like it's a group conversation, and we're all just letting it out,
Yeah.
So.
Okay, until next time. All right.
See you next week.
Bye.